Well, I had done Contact where I got to question what is out there. What I got to do in this was I got to actually go out there. It does take us further into space than we've ever been to in film. It made the idea of if and when that's possible a little more accessible and attainable. Still awe-inspiring, and how the hell would that happen and how could you do it? But it made it a much more practical option in my imagination. I think the first step for me was I wanted to understand the science as best I could. For me as the actor, but also Cooper as the pilot needs to understand the rules of each geography, time, gravity, how they change for each huge set piece that we worked in, because I've got a crew I've got to take care of. So I needed to understand that. Then once I understood that as well as I could, and I understood what I was saying and why, and what we needed and where we were going and what the rules of that world were, then I just started to settle in on the more human, intimate things of father-daughter, family, the human will, human improvisation, how the best pilots are able to use their instincts and override a computer rather than just follow the directions of one. And just tap into this is a great story about the capacity of mankind's ambitions. And sometimes I think our capacity is a little greater than we give ourselves credit for sometimes. Well, I know I could consider it. I would have to if it was posed to me. It's a great question, though. I mean, it's a tremendous question. It's an extreme question, but that's the relatability that everybody emotionally gets hooked into this story. That's what makes the adventure and how far out we go be so meaningful, because it's a very personal story throughout. Even no matter how far out it goes, actually, the further out it goes, the more personal it gets. I'd have to take the considerations at that time. Well, Chris is very demanding, but I mean, he has a really, I'm not going to say knack. I mean, he knows what he's doing when he's pushing people, not just the actors, the crew, to go beyond where they've gone before. Now, as far as getting ready, he hired everyone that I think he hires people that are going to take it upon themselves to do what they need to do to get ready. And once you start this, like once we started this film, day one to day whatever it was when we finished it, it was like one small ascension. I mean, there's no time that we stopped and actually catch our breath and go, and there's no time that you sober up and go, okay, now we're ready again. No, you're on it. You're on the ride from the beginning in a Christopher Nolan film, and I quite enjoyed that. It's a feverish obsession that he has, and he wants everyone to have. Great leader of men, tremendous problem solver too. Sometimes by sheer will, he solved a lot of problems that would have really stumped a lot of people.